Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Computer Engineering Made Easy, and I am Anindita. In this tutorial, we will be learning how to delete the nth node of a single linked list. Now, whenever we are talking of deleting the nth node of a single linked list, there will be two cases. The first one is when n is equal to 1, that is, we want to delete the first node of the linked list, and all other valid values of n are going to be the second case. Now, if we want to delete the first node of a linked list, we first need to check whether the linked list is an empty list or not. If the list is not empty, that is, if head is not equal to null, then we initialize a pointer to a struct node called temp as head. Next, we shift the pointer head to the next node by executing head equal to head next. On doing so, head now points to the second node of the linked list if a second node exists, or if the linked list has got only one node, head now holds the value null. Next, we execute the statement freeTemp in order to dereference the first node of the linked list. Dereferencing means that this memory space will be allocated to some other process. However, if we find that the linked list was initially empty by identifying whether the value of head is null or not, if head is null, that means there are no nodes to delete, so we handle that case accordingly. Now, for rest of the cases, when n is not equal to 1, the idea is a bit different. So here we have to first check whether n is valid or not. If n is valid, then we check if n is equal to 1 or not. If n is equal to 1, we call the function that will be responsible for deleting only the first node of the linked list. We are handling the first node of the linked list separately because that is the only case where head's value gets changed. For all other cases, the head's value remain unchanged. Hence, in phase 2, we first check if n is equal to 1 or not. If n is not equal to 1, then we move on to the phase 3. In this phase 3, we initialize another pointer to struct node type called change as head. So both change and head point to the first node of the linked list. Next, we shift change n minus 2 times and say if n is equal to 3, that means n minus 2 will be equal to 1. So for n equal to 3, we have to shift change only once. For example, say we want to delete the node at address 700. This is the third node of the linked list. For this, we have to set the change pointer on the node right before the node having value 30. So for that, we have to shift change only once. Therefore, we come to the conclusion, like if we have to delete the nth node of the linked list, we have to shift change n minus 2 times. So if we shift change once, change now points to the second node of the list, as shown in the figure. Now we set temp is equals to change next. Once we do that, temp now points to the node that we want to delete. So the idea is that if we want to delete a node in a single linked list, we have to set the temp pointer on the node that we want to delete and the change pointer on the node before the node we want to delete. Once we set the change and the temp pointer in their appropriate positions, then we move on to the next phase. In the next phase, we establish the link between the node before the node we want to delete and the node after the node that we want to delete. That means, in this case, we want to establish the link between the node at address 500 and the node at address 400. So in order to do so, we execute the statement change next is equal to temp next. This means whatever is there in temp next will now get stored in change next. In temp next, we have the address 400. So this 400 now gets stored in the change next part. This indicates that the node change no longer points to the node temp, but points to the node after the node pointed by temp. Now we are free to dereference temp. Accordingly, we execute freeTemp. On executing the statement freeTemp, this memory chunk gets allocated to some other process in the computer's memory. The function to delete the nth node of a linked list therefore looks somewhat like this. In the first phase, as we said, we have to first check if n is valid or not. The lines marked in red check whether n is valid or not. If n is greater than 0 and n is less than equal to count, we can say that the value of n is a valid. In order to see the body of the function count, please check my video whose link is given in the top right corner of the screen. Next, we have to check if n is equal to 1 or not. If n is equal to 1, we call the function delete first node, which we have already seen in our previous slide. After this, we go to the next case. That means when n is valid but not equal to 1. In this case, we set change as head by executing the statement change equal to head. And next we shift change n minus 2 times. For that we use this for loop and we shift change for n minus 2 number of times. After this we set temp as change next using the statement temp equal to change next. And then we establish the link between the node before and after the node pointed by temp. In order to do so, we execute the statement change next is equal to temp next. Finally, we free temp by executing the statement free temp. In order to execute this function, we have to call this function from the main function. So in this case, we have first created a single linked list comprising of n nodes where n is provided as input from the user. After it has been created, we display the content of the linked list before deleting the nth node. Next, we take the value of n as input from the user, where n is going to be the number of the node which has to be deleted. We call the function delete nth node, and then we display the content of the entire list. Now let us see how does the execution proceed. So before we proceed, we have to set the breakpoints at head equal to delete nth node, where the function of our deletion actually gets called. And we have also set breakpoints throughout the function delete nth node, as well as the function delete first node. Now, let us start with the debugging procedure. So first, we click on debug. And once we do that, automatically, the main function starts execution. In the main function, as you can see, we are first creating the single linked list comprising of n nodes. We are then displaying it. And then we are again taking the value of the n such that we can delete the nth node as input from the user. So first we need to create the linked list, and for that, first we need to create the single linked list, and for that we need to enter the number of nodes in the single linked list. Let us consider that the linked list has got 5 nodes. So we enter the value 5. Now the program asks us to enter the values of each of these 5 nodes. Accordingly, let us enter 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So therefore, the content of the list is currently 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now it is asking the number of the node that we want to delete. Let us first run the program to delete the first node of the list. Accordingly, I enter 1. So now the control comes and waits at the function called delete nth node. On clicking the debug, it is going to execute, or it is going to jump into the scope of the function delete nth node. So now let us check the watches window. Here we can find that the content of the head is D10. That means the address of the first node of the list is D10. I'm just considering the last 3 characters. And also the value of n is passed as 1. Currently, temp and change are both holding garbage value, and so is I. Head arrow data is 10. Head arrow next is D50, indicating the address of the second node of the linked list. Now, as we are checking if n is greater than 0 and n is less than equal to count head, we find that the condition becomes true. This is because n is 1 and 1 is greater than 0 and 1 is also less than equal to 5. Next, we check if n is equal to 1 or not. We find that this condition is also true because we have entered the value of n as 1. Accordingly, the control now jumps into the scope of the function delete first node. Note that here we have simply just passed the value of head. So only the value of head is D10 right now. Now we are currently waiting at the statement struct node temp is equals to head. This means that we are going to initialize the value of head into the pointer temp. Temp is currently holding a garbage value. But the moment we execute this particular statement, temp is now pointing to head as well. Therefore, you can see that whatever is head arrow data, temp arrow data is showing the same value. Also, head arrow next and temp arrow next are same. Now we check if head is equal to null. We find that head is not null. Hence, the control enters the if condition and it executes head is equal to head arrow next. This means head will now hold the value D50, that is the address of the second node of the linked list. So on executing this statement, we find head now holds the value D50. On the other hand, note that temp is currently pointing to the first node because temp arrow data is still 10 and temp next is still D50. Okay. On the contrary, head arrow data has now become 20 and head arrow next has now become D70, which is the address of the third node of the list. Finally, we are about to free temp. The moment we free temp, the memory chunk that is being pointed by temp will be free for allocation to any other process that is running in the background in this machine. So the moment we free temp, automatically we can see that the content of temp arrow data and temp arrow next has got changed. So therefore, it must be some other value which is required by some other process. Next, it returns head. The function which called this delete first node function is the delete nth node function. So therefore, the control jumps back to the calling function. And here, it returns the head. Note that since head from the function delete first node has been returned, currently in the scope of the function delete nth node, the head is still holding the value D50, which is the original second node's address, because the first node has now been deleted. Now this second node's address is also getting returned back to the main function. So therefore, as we return to the main function, we find that automatically the first node has been deleted. So the output now shows after deleting 1th node, content of the list is 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now let us execute this once again for n value 3 and n value 5. So let's run it in the debug mode once again. Let us consider that the list has got 5 nodes whose values are 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And let's enter the value of the node that we want to delete as 3. This means that the node having value 30 is going to get deleted. So as we call the function delete nth node, we move into the scope of the function delete nth node. Let us turn on the watches window. Currently, n is holding the value 3 and head is holding the address D10. Now, since n is greater than 0 and less than 5, the condition if n greater than 0 and n less than equal to count head becomes true. We enter the if block and again we check if n is equal to 1 or not. In this case, n is not equal to 1. So we move on to the else block. Now we set change on head. So change equal to head gets executed and change also holds the address, same address that head is also holding right now, that is D10. Next, we run the for loop and we shift change n minus 2 times. Now since n is equal to 3, n minus 2 will become equal to 1. So the for loop is going to get executed only once. We can see that change next is currently D50. So therefore, when we execute the statement change equals to change next, that means change is now going to hold the address D50, indicating that it is pointing to the second node of the list. Now we set temp equal to change next. Change next, as we can see, is D70 right now. So when we execute temp equal to change next, temp now points to the address D70, which is the third node of the linked list. Next, note that what do we have in temp next? Temp next holds the address D90, which is the address of the fourth node of the list. And change next is currently holding D70, which is the address of the third node of the list that we want to delete. So when we execute change arrow next is equal to temp arrow next, this is going to delink the second node and the third node and is going to establish the link between the second node and the fourth node respectively. So therefore, we can see that on executing this, change next now points to D90 instead of D70. D70 is the node that we want to delete. So if we now free temp, you will find that temp arrow data and the temp arrow next, the values will get replaced by garbage values. And that's exactly what is happening. So finally, we return back to the main function and the control gets, and the entire list gets displayed as shown. So we have 10, 20, 40, and 50. Now let us execute this particular program once again in order to delete the fifth node or the last node of the list. So we execute it in the debug mode once again. Let's consider that there are 5 nodes in the list whose values are 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And we want to delete the fifth node. As we want to delete the fifth node, the function delete nth node gets called once again. Let's open the watches window. And see, as we execute, we find that we will enter into the else block because n is a valid value of n is valid, and n is not equal to 1. So we again set change is equal to head. So change and head are both pointing to the same location. Now, since n is equal to 5, 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, change equal to change next is going to get executed 3 times. So for the first time, change equal to change next, change holds the value D50, that is the address of the second node. Next, change holds the address of D70, that is the third node's address. And next, it holds the address D90, which is the fourth node's address. After this, we execute temp equal to change next. So temp now points to the last node of the list, that is DB10. Note that temp is pointing to the last node, and since the last node has got null in its next part, temp next also has null in its next part. Okay, so now when we execute change arrow next is equals to temp arrow next, note that the value of change next, which is DB0, will now get replaced by null, indicating that the fourth node now behaves as the last node of the linked list. Next, we free temp, so the memory allocated to temp now gets assigned to some other process. And finally, we return back head to the main function. At this point of time, we again display the content of the list, and we can see that after deleting the fifth node, we have 10, 20, 30, and 40 present in the list. With that, we come to the end of our today's tutorial. If you have liked it, please make sure to hit the like button. Put in any comments if you want to, and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe it for more such tutorials. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.